Auckland this time.
Yeah, I've seen her like 6 times.
Right.
I don't need to be trapped at sea with her.
Okay, so because she was on there on top of everything, and I'm not a huge Melissa Etheridge music fan. You know what? My girlfriend enjoys her.
Yeah,
but
I don't know how many times.
I'm not a
I
big.
want to come over. Yeah, okay, all right. Just go over then.
Just go to a window.
I want to come over. She's yelling it.
Yeah, just go to
the window. Come to the window. Come on over. Whatever. Okay,
right.
That's it.
So I really wanted to go on this cruise. So Danielle's like, well, let me see. They have a message board, okay? The Melissa Etheridge cruise message board.
Oh, that's a thing. Huh?
Oh, yeah. So she's on the message board, and this was right after the hurricane in Puerto Rico.
Right.
And one of the stops was going to be San Juan.
Yeah.
So now all the people that are going on this cruise, well, not all, a good number, were saying how they wanted to donate their time to fix up Puerto Rico when the ship.
Of course they do.
When the ship docked.
That's what they need, is a bunch of drunk lesbians running around a country with no power. That's exactly the kind of help Puerto Rico needs.
So I said, well, how are they going to do this? And Danielle was like, what are they going to do? Put all their power tools in their luggage? So, wait, let me ring the bell. I got to ring the bell. Shame on us.
No, it's true. They're so.
And so I said, well, she goes, well, they're going to have like sawzalls and power drills.
Oh my God. Yeah,
so,
you can rent snorkel equipment, but you can't rent a jackhammer, ladies, as much as you want to. There's no there's no power tool rental facility for you.
Well, they would have to. I was thinking they were just going to bring them in their luggage.
Oh yeah, sure, a jackhammer. Yeah. That can be kinky.
So Danielle said there was no way she was spending her vacation nailing up wood. As much as she felt bad, she would donate some money, but she was not going to volunteer her time to rebuilding Puerto Rico single-handedly with the women on the cruise ship. So, needless to say, I didn't get to go. And what made me think about this, obviously, the cruise just pulled in, and it came right out of Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, so I have a couple friends who did go on the cruise, so I've been seeing
Did they say Puerto Rico?
No, I don't see anything about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like maybe the disaster had passed, and they didn't. There may have been a group that did go out there and do some nail pounding. I don't know for sure, but they're all posting about it and how they all had such a great time. And so, part of me is like kind of sad I didn't go on the cruise, but
oh, there'll be another one.
There'll be more.
There's always another lesbian cruise. Yeah. There's always another.
Is there anything you need to discuss besides news? Anything going on in your life?
No, my wife and I are moved into Binghamton, and we're living in the dorm room now. That's what we're calling it, and it's quite the setup. And got my little corner here for my desk, and I'm surrounded by a variety of cats, and I really don't have any personal space at this time. But we're making do.
Yeah,
we said we're like the girls in college who push their beds together to quote save space. We're saving space, but they're really like, it's really so they can touch each other while they're sleeping. We're those girls in the dorm room. We pushed our beds together to quote save space. So, that's us right now.
So,
nothing sexy about it.
No. So, you were just saying that.
No, I turned my queen bed sideways so we could turn it into a king, so our little feet are like almost on the edge.
Yeah.
I turned it sideways because width-wise we weren't like comfortable in the amount of space we had, so we're really improvising around here. But maybe this will be the training we needed for our tiny house someday. So far, we've realized tiny house living's not going to happen with this
No, right. So the tiny house thing just went right out the window.
There's nothing tiny about either of us. So
Yet alone to have the house.
That's part of the problem now. So,
right.
Yeah, that's what we're doing over here. So
yeah,
it's all for the greater good.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. So Danielle bought a new car. She got a fancy.
Really?
Yeah, she got a fancy car. We call it the Big Rig, and it's a Ford Edge.
A Ford Edge, yeah, those are pretty big.
Yeah, they're pretty big. It's the Big Rig. It's her nickname, the Big Rig. So she got this fancy car, and oh my goodness, it even has air-conditioned seats. Okay?
What?
Yeah. Which is like the best thing that's ever happened to me is sitting in that air-conditioned seat.
Yeah, because you get hot.
I'm always hot. So it's black leather. So it has the air-conditioned seat, the heated steering wheel, the rear-view mirrors, yell at you when there's someone in your blind spot. I mean, this thing has all the bells and whistles. And it has the fancy roof, like you have.
The panoramic.
Yes, it has the fancy roof. So...
yeah.
It has so many buttons, and it's so confusing. And I'm really concerned for her because Danielle isn't the very best driver, but it does have the backup camera.
Well, that helps.
Well, she has trouble parking. So now she has to park the Big Rig, which is a whole other story. So she's like, we have to go out and practice my parking skills with the Big Rig. So she's been managing pretty good. So
the parallel part.
Yep. She's done it all, and the camera works nice. So she's doing good. She hasn't done any damage to the outside of it. Just one of her fancy purses she thinks scratched, like where you put your drink. It's like silver. It's got a little scratch. She thinks because she set her purse or her keys, but it's nothing. I mean, you're gonna have.
It's gonna happen.
Right. That's not a big deal. So the outside has remained intact. So. It's got these seat adjustments, okay? So when you can adjust your seat and then you push what number you are.
Oh,
1 or 2. Okay. So she adjusted her seat to number 1. So when I'm drove, she's like, push the number and it'll remember your settings. So I pushed number 2.
That's fantastic.
Right. So me that I barely got a car in the 2000s have no idea how all this fancy stuff works. You don't need a key anymore to start your car. What do you think of that?
Yeah.
You push a button.
Yeah, I think mine's the last year you needed a key because it's 2013.
Well, hashtag goals is to get to the year cars were made. No, hashtag goals is to get a car that's, right.
You don't need the key.
Right. So,
the little fob with the key fob.
So she has that. So I don't know how to start it. So I'm like getting pissed. It won't start. I'm pushing the button. So you have to put your foot on the brake. Oh, all right. Being fancy. Fancy. So I went to move her car the other day. I haven't been in it in a long time. Well, I get in, I sit, I put my foot on the brake, I push the stupid button. All of a sudden, my seat starts moving forward. I'm like, what's going on? It's going forward. So it's crushing my breast. I'm getting smashed. The steering wheel is pushed up against my fat stomach. I'm like, what is going on? I can't stop it. It's like electric. It's freaking flipping out, right? I'm like, I'm not thinking I'm going to die in the driveway. No, I'm in the street. I was pulling in. I'm like, Danielle's going to come and find me. Okay, crushed in the Ford Edge.
The number one
setting killed me. Okay? Let me shame myself. All right, I'm ringing the bell.
Because you used her key? They recognized her key?
No. Apparently, when you turn the car off, the seats back up and give you a generous amount of room to get out. Right. But when you get back in and start it, it automatically goes back to your setting. It was her number 1 setting.
Oh, that's dangerous, though.
No, it is dangerous. Thank you. So... it's set on her number 1, and she is like, I don't know, 5 foot nothing. Right. Her little baby legs, right?
Yeah.
She has to have that seat all the way up with those little teeny legs of hers. And she's got it like really high. So like your head hits
the roof of the car. So she's got it all the way up. She's got a real close for those little baby feet, and it's going, and it's moving real slow. Now I'm seeing my life flash before my eyes, okay? My life is flashing. I'm like, no! Like, can you see me? No!
Oh my god, that is classic.
Right.
I wish she had a dash cam. So
If there was a dash cam, that would have been an award winner. So
if you ever have to move her car,
I gotta push number 2. Dan, what do I do? Push number 2 before I start it. Or after. She said you gotta push number 2 before you start it or you'll die.
You know what? It's funny, but someone's really gonna someone's gonna use this as like a murder.
It's gonna be. Can you imagine? Like somebody sets them up, so I'm gonna freaking murder you.
Abusive husband. Yes. Move my car, will you? And you go. You set that shit off.
Yeah, that's it for the abusive husband.
Very tippy threat. Oh my
god. Yeah. So that's a good idea. So anyway, anybody who's listening, if you do this, we will be looking for that news story. We can say we will feature you. A couple of instigators under our funny news. We will definitely instigate that story if you use that setting to rebuild Puerto Rico.
There was one I didn't tell you about. The first one, I picked up a passenger who she sat in the front seat. Not everyone's like, oh, those young kids, they must be horrible, those college kids. And this goes into our follow-up millennial story,
Yeah,
no,
right.
it's not the millennials that are the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, people. These are grown adults causing me problems, both of these. Mm-hmm. She's so trash. She's in the front seat playing with the volume on. She's touching the stereo, playing with the volume in my face, talking with her dirty cigarette, drunk breath. I'm trying to drive. She FaceTimes somebody on the phone and has her friend show me her boobs while I'm driving on Facebook.
They're just like, hey, show the boobs to my Uber driver.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want to look at them, honestly, at all. But I take a quick glance only so she'll stop and I can go back to paying attention to the road.
Right.
So I'm like,
she's like, look at these.
Like I've never seen them. Like
look
I've
at
never
these
seen
boobs.
a pair. I'm a 41-year-old lesbian. I've seen a pair.
And you've seen a pair.
2 or 3 or whatever. Hope my parents aren't listening. Anyway, so that's what started the night. I should have known it was going to be bad. So I go and I'm driving. I'm minding my business. I get an XL ride. That's, if you don't know, a ride for 4 passengers or more. It was 18 minutes away. So I'm like, God, do I really want to take this? Let me text these people and find out where they're going. So I text them. They're going to a hotel. They replied right away on the text. So I'm like, oh, okay, they must be decent people. I get out there, 20-minute ride. I'm waiting for them to come out. I wait for like 10 minutes. Nobody's coming out. And finally, this one girl comes staggering out. She's like, my friend just got married and they're in there and they're going to be out in a few minutes. I'm like, well, we really need to get going because I've been waiting out here. I drove 20 minutes to get you. I've been waiting out here for 10. I'm in this for 30 minutes already. She's like, okay. So then she's right. They did just get married because a bride comes staggering out of the venue. And she's like, hi. And she throws herself into the seat. She's completely, completely wasted. I can't even think of like a nice way to say it. Yeah, right. I almost said the S. She crawls in the seat. She's got the dress. She's trying to get the whole dress like into the car because she's got the train and she's in there and she's got it's all ruffled up like in the back seat. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, is it just you two? She goes, no, we have to wait for my husband and his guys. Man, I'm like, oh my God. So they come out. And they're just standing there like chit-chatting like they have all the time in the world. I'm like, hey, we really need to get going. We're going on 30 minutes here. So the guy sticks his head in the car. He goes, surely Uber can wait for my friend. He just got married today. And I said, well, surely Uber is not going to do that. I said, surely I'm going to leave. I said, it just Surely I'm going to cancel this ride.
Right.
Surely.
Shirley.
So they, yes, I was very
You
sarcastic.
didn't say my name isn't Shirley.
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 So he takes out a pack of cigarettes and lights one and says,